Welcome to a new AI agent tutorial. So in this tutorial it is the third video of my AI agent framework benchmark series. And what we do in this, what this benchmark series is about, I compared different AI agent frameworks. And today we're gonna test AutoGen. And what we're gonna do is we will create an AI stock analyst. So what is this AI stock analyst is going to do? First it will receive a ticker symbol, and then it will get information data from the Yahoo Finance API. Then it will get the Warren Buffett investment principles from a file, and with this information, with the stock data and the principles of Warren Buffett, it will analyze the stock. And when it analyzes the stock, it will write the output to a file. This is basically the full workflow. And yes, concerning the Warren Buffett principles, they are in the file. We have here those principles. Warren Buffett, for example, really likes to invest in value stocks. He likes to invest in stocks which have a competitive advantage, which are financially healthy, and which usually have a good dividend policy. And all of these principles shall be considered when the agent gives the investment recommendation. Short note from me now here, this video is not investment recommendation of any kind. Yes, the AI gives the recommendation, but it's the AI. You always have to check it. You always have to do your own research. You always have to ask some experts if you want to do investment. So this is not an investment advice, not at all. But it contains useful information which you might consider. Yes. So that's it. Those are the things which will be the AI agent perform. And yeah, now let's jump into the code, what we're actually doing. As I said, we are using AutoGen, and it's very easy to install. You just have to install the library AutoGen. But don't worry, you get all the code and all the libraries what you need for installing it. You will get it in the subscription below of the video. You can download all the code and things like that. Okay, so let's get started. Well, basically at the beginning we do our imports as usual. Then we configure the large language model which we are going to use. I really like this GPT-4o mini model as it is cheap and it is very fast. Sometimes it's necessary, for example, when you do AI agent development and you got stuck or something is not working, then I recommend you to try your recent code, your recent prompts with a more powerful model, which would be, for example, the GPT-4o model. And if it works, then you know that you have to improve your prompts or maybe add another check. If it does not work, you probably has to restructure your whole workflow. So I added start time because at the end we want to create a benchmark and see how this AI agent framework performed in comparison to the others. So we're gonna track the time. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing, let's get started with the agents. So in this case we have a very simple system message, like the role you would say, for the agent, which is like, you are a helpful AI assistant, return terminate when the task is done. This is something special for AutoGen. You don't have to do that, for example, when you work with LangGraph or with CrewAI. If you want your agents or like a specific agent to decide when the whole workflow is done or when the agent should stop, you have to add like a stop term into your prompt you added. And it's recommended to highlight it in different ways. So you have here the apostrophes and you have everything in capital letter. So that's it. Okay, so for AutoGen, as we're using tools, which I will explain you soon, AutoGen works like that. If you want to use a tool, you need like an agent and the tool usage agent. And in this case, we call it our user proxy. So the tool usage will always go via the user proxy agent. Both agents are like the standard convertible agents of AutoGen. And here, yeah, exactly the same thing. Here, the tool usage will be stopped when the other agent writes the word terminate. Then this agent will not do anything else anymore. So what else is important? We add the large language model. This one does not need a large language model and not a large language model config. Another thing, what is very nice in AutoGen is that it has the capability of caching. So when you perform an API request, if you talk to the language model, it is an API request, and you perform exactly the same one again, then it's caching the results. As we were doing a benchmark, we want to run it several times, we want different results. I disabled the caching. The caching you disable like that. You put like the cache seed equals none. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, what we're going to use is some functions. But before I explain you how we use the functions and how we register the functions, actually how we define it, I just gonna go through the prompt, which is here. Okay, this one we don't need. So here we have the ticker symbol, which is Apple, and this will be passed in our user message. So it's not the system message. Here we now have the user message, and I like, for clarifying things, I like to give it like a description and an expected output. I got inspired from CrewAI because they usually do that. So in the description, you'd give a general description, what you want to achieve, and in the expected output, you clarify very clearly what you expected to return. And the more clearly you define what you want to return, usually the better your results are. So what we want to do is, first, for a given ticker, this is the ticker, fetch the data using the Yahoo Finance tool. So the Yahoo Finance tool is our first tool we want to use, and this one we actually import. So from tools, Yahoo Finance, we import it, so that would be this file here. And basically what it's doing, it's using the Yahoo Finance pip library, and it's calling the Yahoo Finance API, and there it returns this data for the stock. And this is all the stock KPI, which is necessary if you want to do a good analysis. Of course, if you want to do real analysis, you need like a lot of more data, or you should use a lot more data. But for a start, for showing how things can work, I think this is already a very good start to give a recommendation. Okay, so that was the first tool which we used, and yes, I will go now through it and then I explain you how to actually define those tools and how to connect them. So then get the Warren Buffett investment principles by opening the file. Here I gave it the relative path of the file I want to use. Then you provide a comprehensive analysis of the ticker, write short and concise the pros why Warren Buffett would invest in this company and the cons why he wouldn't. Then summarize the company's evaluation and provide a recommendation. Then you give a Warren Buffett buy recommendation from 0 to 10, 10 is best. this is something I use a lot and I really like, because actually the language model is consistent with that. So for example, let's say, okay, I write a blog post. I want to write a SEO optimized blog post and using AI. So I want my agent to write a SEO optimized blog post. Then the agent will create it. And what I like to do then is that another agent will actually check the result and give it a rating. So if it's, for example, first you have a reasoning, you say, it's good because A, B, C, D. And then because of A, B, C, D, the rating is 6 of 10. And then you tell the other image, okay, I want you to improve, I want to make it a 10 of 10, and you have to do that. Then the other agent will write the blog article again. And then you do the rating again. And then with each iteration, it should improve a little bit till you arrive at a perfect result. And it works very good. It is consistent, as I say. So for example, if we now run it once and the buy recommendation is like 6 of 10, and we run it again, usually it stays 6 of 10. It's not like once 1 of 10, once 2 of 10, 8 of 10. No, usually it's pretty consistent. And this already, of course, it depends on the model. And this already, we can already achieve that with the cheap model of GPT-4o Mini, which is very nice. Okay, finally write the result to the file. And here we have the path of the file. And now that's very important, the expected output. So we want 4 sections. So the first sections are the pros. The second sections are the cons. Then we want a company evaluation summary, which is the summary of the pros and the cons. And then finally want the Warren Buffett buy recommendation. And you will see soon, or we hope, that this structure actually will be applied like that. Okay, so before I run it, I wanted to explain with the things with the functions. The functions. In AutoGen, it's very easy to define a function. So you define a function. This is pretty much everything what you have to do. So it's basically a normal Python function declaration. So here I defined the read file tool in this case, I would say. I mean, of course it's a Python function, but in the area of AI agents, we call it a tool. And yeah, so we have another tool which is then the right file. And then you have to register those functions. So what we're going to do, how we're going to do that. So for example, we have the Yahoo Finance function, and who will call this function will be our agent, which will be fed with this prompt here. But the executor is the user proxy. So this agent, the assistant agent, could not perform that action. This is very unique, or it's like how AutoGen is handling that. So that's important to consider. Then you give it a clear name, and this name you then want to use again in your prompts, for example. And another thing what you wanted to give is a description. So I kept the instruction very short and concise. I just said input ticker symbol of a stock. It will return stock data. Of course, I could write a little bit better, like input output, but I did it like that and it was working. And for the other two, it's pretty much the same thing. Same caller, same executor, only once it's read file, then we have write file, and then we have read a file and write a file. That's pretty much it. So yes, I think we are well prepared to give it a try and see how it actually works. Did I forget something? Yes, at the end I want to print the costs, I want to print the time, how much it took to run, and that's it, I would say. So let's run it. So first it was fetching the Warren Buffett principles. Then first it got the information from the ticker, then it got the Warren Buffett principles, and then it wrote hopefully, the stock analysis. So the stock analysis then we have here in this file. And yeah, I would say it looks pretty good. We have the pros, we have the cons, we have the company evaluation, and we have the buy recommendation. So I'm just gonna delete this here and we just do it again and see if we get what will be now the buy recommendation and if what I was telling you was correct. And I have to say, compared with other frameworks, it is pretty fast. Of course, it depends on the language model. So now we have a new recommendation, and again, it's 7 of 10. So that worked pretty well. Yeah, basically, this was the whole workflow for now. And now we're gonna do the benchmark. Or actually, I kind of prepared the benchmark already a little bit. And we will see to it now. So the first thing what I checked was like the costs, and this kind of run is extremely cheap. I mean, it's supposed to be cheap because maybe you want to analyze 1000 stocks, then it already looks a little bit different. And so the costs are like 0.006 dollars, which are 0.06 cents, dollar cents. The total tokens, the average of the total tokens is 3000, which is quite good. Then we have the lines of the code besides the tool, so only this code. For this you need like 100 lines. The tool usage, the lines of the tool are like 56. And the execution time took like, once it took like 9.6, 9.2, so 8.7. And so the total was, it's around 9 seconds, which is pretty fast, I have to admit. So if you want to use it, the libraries, you don't have to install a lot of libraries. The only libraries you have to install is like yfinance and AutoGen. I use the version 0.2.25. So here, when I was doing this tutorial, I was very good. It was very going well, so I did not experience any challenges when I was using AutoGen. So what is nice about AutoGen, it's well documented. The documentation is in general up to date, and they have lots of examples and tutorials. And they have even a video tutorial, which I will add in the description, of course. So what is not so nice? Well, I don't have many upsides of this tool. The only thing what you might consider that it's like developed from Microsoft. Maybe they have some interest doing that. But I mean, for example, React is developed from Facebook. Everyone is using React and people are happy. So could be a disadvantage. This is arguable. The ease of use for me, I consider it very easy to use. And in summary, it is powerful, but not extremely powerful. I tested some other frameworks which are more powerful. This you can see when you check my other videos. And if you have you don't need very advanced programming skills, I would say. So if with medium programming skills, you would be good for using it. Yeah, that's it. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like and maybe even subscribe if you want to get more content about AI agent frameworks and how to program your own AI, your own agent army. And yeah, have a nice day and see you in the next one. Ciao.